So during the pandemic, everybody knows that governments of all sorts are hiring like crazy to try to do all the things that they want to do for the population. Smokey Thomas is the head of a huge union, OPSEU. He joins me right now because I want to put to you what are the governments doing with all the people that they're hiring? Is this good for government? Is it good for the union? Is it good for people?
Well, they've had to hire extra testers, things like that, and people that do enforcement. And I hope they keep them on after, because 15 years of liberal austerity, they cut most of those jobs.
Right. So, but government's still getting bigger all the time.
Well, this one over 15 years actually shrunk, but there are occupations that I keep pitching the government. You need to bring them back for the safety of society.
Like what?
Well, Ministry of Labor inspectors, all the laboratory services, actually public services in general for healthcare, right? Because they've all been 15, 25 years of austerity. They've just shrunk. And we got caught flat-footed, as did most of the world in the pandemic, because we weren't ready.
Does that mean then that we're going to have more people in the government telling non-government people how to run their lives and what to do?
No, what I'm hoping will be is that the government will take a holistic approach to reopening the economy and growing the economy to get us out of the massive debt we've accumulated by, reinvesting in public services. So if you go into Northern Ontario, they want to open up mining, they want to do all that stuff. Well, if you don't have a hospital nearby and a lab and an ambulance service and those sorts of things, that have been cut, a Service Ontario, a liquor store, a post office, all those things have shrunk over in outside in rural and Northern Ontario. And if you want to grow back, what I'm saying to the government is invest in public services, because they're the great equalizer in society, right? They make it equal for everybody, and you'll save money down the road. They've spent billions of dollars, and I submit that a lot of that money, if they had not cut over the years, the scientists in the ministries that do the testing, the research, if they hadn't cut all the lab capacity, it wouldn't have been as tough as it was, and I think they recognize that. So
I was just going to ask you, Smokey, so you put this to the government, that they have to beef up, particularly public health and emergency services. How has the government responded to you?
I tell you what Peter Bethlen-Falvey told me. He said, Smokey, and I like this analogy, he said, in the world wars, nobody argued about what we're spending. And he said, my view is this is a world war against an invisible enemy. We have to spend what we need to spend, but we can't cut our way to prosperity after. And I like that approach, and I believe him. And actually, a lot of people won't like me for saying this, but he's a really decent human being.
And Smokey Thomas, I've known you for years. You're a decent human being. Thanks for joining us. 3 minutes. In these days of big government and reduced liberties and big spending and paid media, it's even more important that we have independent voices such as this, people coming on talking about the issues. At the very start of this production, we had some very generous donors. That's run out. I don't get paid. I want to put the message out there. However, the equipment, the crew does cost money. So if you want to help us keep on going with this thing, you can please send a donation. The address is below. Or if you want to sponsor this and have your name across, also contact us, because we want to keep going and have an independent voice. Thanks.